Hello and welcome to the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast. We're not the movie podcast anymore, but whatever. My name is Tayte Nyawa, I'm not Chris, and I'm joined with the one, the only, the requested George Aldridge today for the Day 3 recap of Star Wars Celebration 2017 Orlando. George, how are you doing?
I am very tired. Obviously, I'm not in Orlando, but I have been covering this on two channels. I had work this morning, so I've had like 3 hours sleep. I've caught up to most of today's panels, and I'm sifting through things for more stuff. There's currently a Hasbro panel happening, but I am Star Wars out. I am fighting. It is day 4 tomorrow. But yes, I saw some Facebook comments. I saw some YouTube comments, and I was requested, which is odd because I co-created Cinema Savvy, but
You were summoned, I believe the correct
Return
word
of the Jedi. I am here because I haven't actually spoke about Star Wars Celebration Cinema Savvy yet for this year. So neither have you. This is the third day, and it's the third combination of pairing.
I feel like this is the and it's going to be a different combination tomorrow as well.
Yeah, regardless. So we're both kind of new to this. Let's just go straight for the obvious. The Last Jedi.
Yes.
My initial trailer thoughts for those that didn't see it on the other stuff. I thought it was an excellent teaser trailer. It teased the film magnificently. It didn't give any plot away. It made you care for the characters, and it was giving you an insight into the galaxy of the present. We got some awesome new devices that we're seeing the first order in the distance used versus the resistance at the front. It feels so weird repeating myself, and I actually haven't seen the trailer today, which is even more bizarre. I should have put it on before, but obviously we've got the Rey Rocky training montage. She's running up the steps with Luke. She's swinging the lightsaber around the statue. She's getting to the top of island. She's going to do it. And then she's
Can we get the montage music from Rocky 4 going with that in the background? Because
the other one's going to be like Kylo, like getting really angry instead of being the Russian guy. He's going to be like slapping like prisoners, and it's going to cut to Rey on the island, Kylo in the.
No, I want Rey going on the island, and then every now and then you just see her just punch a punching bag out of nowhere on the ceiling and keep running.
Well, she's got the little stick thing she uses, hasn't she? So she can train with it. Yeah. There could be some locals for her to train on. We don't know. We haven't actually seen the island properly yet. Like, how does Luke eat? There must be some kind of predatorial system on the island.
Rat.
Maybe.
He fishes, maybe.
Well, it is an island, so... Yeah. And, I'm going there for my 21st birthday, which I can officially announce, which is cool. I'll be able to talk about that later on. But... just so far, celebrations have been excellent. It's infuriating I'm not there, not just because there's Star Wars stuff, but it would have tied into my university project for something I'm doing. I've met a lot of cool builders from the R2 Club. It would have been incredible to go this year, and at least I've been able to watch it all. I haven't had to queue overnight. I've been in my bed watching it. It's really comfy. I don't miss queuing overnight. However, I do see it and get very envious, especially when George Lucas came out on Thursday.
Yes. I have been kind of very loosely watching them. As you can tell, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I love the films. I seriously enjoy playing the games, and I love Rebels as well. But I'm not really that into the universe. I like it as it comes. I like them to just... Instead of me doing my own research and going like reading the books and stuff like that, which I really should be doing, I like it when they just say, "Here's a film teaser trailer. I'll watch that." Like, and if they send me over like more just Star Wars stuff and just kind of launch it at the internet, I'll read on it. But I won't go out of my way to get extra Star Wars stuff until this year, where I've actually kind of started watching all of the panels for at least today's events of Star Wars Celebration, and I feel like we should talk about the first panel of the day, which I believe was the Rebels panel.
Yeah. Those that don't know this, we haven't spoken on Cinema Savvy, but we and you both watch Star Wars Rebels. We've seen every single episode. We do enjoy it. Even when you're in Austria, you were still trying to watch it the second it came online. And the Season 4 panel, I was very much looking forward to. It was obviously... It's one of the main panels for today. It's one of the biggest panels for the weekend. It's going to give us a look at Season 4. We're going to get a trailer, the cast there, blah, blah, blah. I will just go and say I was kind of disappointed by this panel today. There's quite a lot to take in, though. There will be spoilers for those that haven't seen season 3 of Rebels, because it does come into it with the likes of Thrawn, Kanan, Ezra, and potential fate of any of these characters. But I suppose, should we just kick off with the big thing that they confirmed that this is the final season?
Yeah. I was a little bit shocked by that. I thought they were going to go for 2 more seasons, because there's so many loose ends they need to tie up before they get to Rogue One kind of area of where we are in the Star Wars universe. And I feel like 1 season, I mean, how many is it? 23 episodes? They've got a lot to pack in. So it's either going to be a lot of information in one spot and then a couple of episodes as filler, or it's going to be all spread out and it's all going to be leading up to that, and we're going to see little hints in every single episode. So it gets me excited about the upcoming series, but it's a bit of a bummer. It's one of those TV shows that you can kind of rely on, especially if you think, oh yeah, there's going to be 2 more seasons of this. I can kind of tie in some loose ends in my head and I can work it out. Now we have less time to do that.
Yeah,
now,
it's a weird one, because when Rebels started, each season has gone across a new year. And so it was in the Star Wars years, it was 5 years before A New Hope when season 1 came out. Season 2, 4 years. Season 3, no, I read that right. Basically, season 3 is 2 years before A New Hope. That's Rogue One. Yeah. So in theory, season 4 should be 1 year before. But the issue, I think a lot of people think there would have been 5 seasons, was because in Rogue One, obviously there's Saw Gerrera and Mon Mothma, common stuff like that. But we had the ghosts in the Battle of Scarif. We had Hera Syndulla being name dropped. We had a Chopper cameo. So we know there's 2 or 3 story arcs, plot points that have to be there by Rogue One, but I don't think anyone expected. There was some people thought there'd be 4 seasons, but I think 5 was the common ground. But it was really bizarre, because I was saying to some people that I thought this panel was quite boring up until they announced it. It was, I suppose, because it was a difficult
panel, because like the actors couldn't say anything spoiler-wise for the new series, and they're allowed to talk about where their character has been and where they think the character is going to go in the next season, but they couldn't give us any specific details. Because of that, everything felt very limited.
Yeah, but the issue with this is, I guess they have to have a panel.
Yeah.
The problem I understand keeping it tight-lipped, but we had Last Jedi yesterday, who had an hour panel tight-lipped. They spoke about their experiences on set, and yes, being on set is very different to the sound studio. I kind of felt like, this is Star Wars Celebration. It's meant to be about the whole celebrating the franchise as it is in its basis. And I kind of felt the Rebels guys that, as they know, this is the final season. There's no celebration next year. So this could be one of the last times we see this group together. I would have liked to have seen a lot more of them as a group. They spoke about, oh yeah, we became a family. But it was so sudden and bizarre at the end that suddenly
they
Dave
became
really
a family. Yeah, as far as the actors were concerned, they were kind of spread out on the couches. Like they weren't exactly sat all together quite closely knit. And this is the first, obviously, as a casual Star Wars fan, this is the first time I've actually seen any of the voice actors. So it was a surprise when I saw Fred from the Scooby-Doo movies show up, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's Kanan!" That completely got me. But other than that,
really.
Yeah, it seriously completely got me.
Do you know that Buffy the Vampire Slayer is his wife and was also the 7th sister in season 2?
What? Please, no, too much information at the time. Like, I need it spread out, okay? But yeah, seriously, they say they're a family, and there was a couple of them where I felt a bit of chemistry, but like, as far as actors are concerned, Ezra seemed very kind of distant.
Yeah, Ezra's an odd one. I think he's a character, even not just the actor. I don't know too much about Taylor Gray, but
yeah,
he's a character that he was very much the first Disney new Star Wars character, with Rebels being the first Disney Star Wars sort of show. Season 1, he was so Disney, and
yeah,
I like that they kind of made
they've had to keep him on, but he's still Disney.
He's Disney, and they tried to hint with the dark, but with Maul gone, obviously the darkness is gone, but.
Yeah. Well, and that is, unless speculation here, Kanan dies and he has no one to follow, no one to guide him.
Well, and I hope he gets killed by Vader too.
Yes,
it's such a frustrating one, because by saying it's into season 4, there's a lot of speculation, but it kind of felt like these character arcs, it's too soon. But I think the problem with the panel is I just didn't feel anything from them. It felt like 3 or 4 individual stories from the guys. Whereas again, I'll go to Last Jedi because it's very similar. You could tell John Boyega and Daisy Ridley, they're like, they're saying, oh yeah, we would Skype each other from our different film sets. And we say, I can't wait to see each other. You've got some genuine there, whereas this, you're right, I couldn't feel the chemistry between any of them.
They were all voice actors in a studio, and that was especially it was brought forward to my attention, shall we say, when they said, oh yeah, Warwick Davis is going to be on, brilliant, love him. And then they say he isn't actually going over to film, he's just going to be doing it over Skype. And like, there's no actual physical chemistry there. You can gain chemistry with people voice acting in different studios through actually talking to the actual characters, but it makes me think, do they actually just record it in their own separate time and then it all gets sent in, it all gets mashed together, so there's no actual physical confrontation, head-to-head chemistry?
There's a few, but that's the issue. By having Warwick Davis, I love Warwick, and he's a massive guest. It's not like they can't afford to fly him over to go in the sound studio with the other guys, but the fact he's doing it from London, and it just feels like a favor. Like, okay, we're wrapping up Rebels, we need to get Warwick in it. I don't know too much about the old expanded universe. I know he's playing like Thrawn's assassin. There's some backstory there. I'm not going to go into it for any potential spoilers. But
what's it called? Rook.
Yeah, Rook. And I wouldn't search it because it's got a fate of someone that you don't want to know about.
Okay.
But
I've heard about. I think someone said something about it like afterwards when I was watching it, or someone said something. So
yeah, I won't spoil it just in case. But
yeah,
it could tie up a story arc, this character. But I don't know. There was something about this episode where, not episode story, this panel where it didn't feel right. Even when Dave Filoni, who I absolutely adore, he's one of the most intelligent people at Lucasfilm. He's got a massive future there. He's going to go way past animation. He'll end up in a similar position to Kathy Kennedy eventually. He'll be really high up. When he just kind of said, I didn't get to finish Clone Wars, so I'm just going to say that we're finishing Rebels now. Even he didn't sound convincing in it, and
no,
whether that's just himself.
Are they bringing in a new Star Wars show then?
Yes.
Obviously they're going to, but what do you reckon they're going to bring the show?
Set between 6 and 7, and it will start airing in time for episode 9.
Do you reckon, tying into the other panel we had, Inferno?
Not necessarily Inferno.
They'll be involved. If they're doing the bridge, then they will be somewhere involved. Come on. It's canon.
It's canon, which is great. The way I'd see it, because this is going to do, because it's Disney, they can't do like Rise of the First Order. They could have them as villains. But then if they wanted to do something about, Rise of the
Do you reckon they'll do
Resistance,
stuff to do with the Jedi Temple and...
I would like to see something like that, like Luke training them up, because if they did the Rise of the Resistance, it's too similar to Rebels, the Rise of the Rebellion. Something to Luke is going to be very dangerous to get.
Well, then seeing... Maybe it might follow Kylo Ren. Like,
I would like to see something.
We obviously see in the trailer for The Last Jedi that the Knights of Ren sacking the Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
But how do we get there?
And that's the thing. This new series, I mean, they're going to wrap Rebels. They've obviously been working on a new series. It's been rumored for quite a while now that they've been hiring people to work on them. I've heard a lot of the things that Disney want to do is post episode 6. Obviously,
so they want to leave. They want to just, now that they've done Rogue One and now that they've done Rebels, to tie up that end of the spectrum. Unless you want to go all the way back and do pre-Phantom Menace, do you reckon that's it for the original series?
It's a tough one. I think they're going to do Boba Fett eventually. Obviously, we're getting Kenobi, but that's very much hidden from Empire. That's going to be the standalone of standalones. Which obviously Rogue One was almost an episodic film. It was essentially 3.999.
I'd say the way it goes now is it's 1, 2, 3 Rebels, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8.
Like 8.
Yeah, it's and obviously
we have too many now.
There's a Han Solo film coming next year.
Where's that going to fit in? Like that? Okay, that's
going to be between 3 and 4. I'd say way before Rogue One.
Obviously, they've got Lando in Rebels. Will that tie into that?
I doubt it. I think it's going to have Lando losing the
Actually, I'm
Falcon.
going to say between 3 and 4. What is the distance between 3 and 4? How many years is that?
19 years.
19 years. Okay. Aldrin Ehrenreich? No.
Yeah, there's rumors that
What's his
apparently
name? I can't
I
actually
can't pronounce
his
the
name.
surname, and I can't try because I don't.
I tried it on the what's it called? Hail Caesar review. Alden Ehrenreich.
He's talented. I've heard from rumors that, well, I think Bob Iger said it's going to follow Han from the age of 18 to 24, but that's so vague. That could be anything from one flashback at the age of 18.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that kind of age, 19 years to get to the Han in the original Star Wars, he ain't 24.
Well, that's why it's going to be set quite early, I think, into the Empire's reign.
So do you reckon it's going to be I reckon it's going to be somewhere between Dead on 3 or the events taking place during 3. So he'll be on the other side of the galaxy, and you could actually hear maybe like a little kind of Easter egg, like, I don't know, seeing on a TV or hearing on a radio the stormtroopers of the Jedi.
There'll be a lot of Easter eggs. Obviously,
maybe even like him seeing like some, I don't know, clone troopers, and then Order 66 coming through.
No, it will be way past that. It will be way past that, I think. That's far too early, but it's such a weird one. I'm intrigued for that. I mean, tomorrow evening we're getting a closing panel. I think they're gonna not show something, but I think there's going to be some Han Solo stuff announced.
Do you reckon like an on-set photo or something like that? Because we know they've already gone on set.
They've been filming for a month or two. What am I allowed to say? They're at Pinewood Studios.
You're on the oath.
They're at Pinewood Studios. We know this. They're shooting with their films in England, but they did tweet the directors about a month or two ago. They started shooting. I'm not expecting any footage, but maybe some behind-the-scenes pictures, maybe some official cast names or some costume pictures.
We already have like quite a lot of the main official cast, so it's just kind of extra people tacked on, maybe like a couple of cameos they're just going to announce before and then keep a couple secret, maybe.
Yeah, but like, I really want to see some pictures of Donald Glover as Lando.
Yes, because he is the perfect casting. Like Alden Ehrenreich, you can kind of debate, okay, he doesn't look spot on perfect, but like Lando and Donald Glover is just spot on perfect.
He's got the personality to play Lando as well. Yes,
like there couldn't have been a better casting. That might actually be the best casting that has possibly ever been done for a re-rolled character. But
but it was a fan's favorite casting. Everyone wanted him, and Disney went and got him, which was great because they don't normally do stuff like that. But it was perfect. And there's the famous picture of him out for dinner with Billy Dee Williams discussing Lando.
But talking about Billy Dee Williams, should we move to that next?
So Billy Dee, he's one of the coolest suave guys in the world. He had his own sort of 25-minute panel of Warwick Davis today, and it was nice to have a short one because everything this weekend's either been an hour long or 5 minutes long. Again, that middle ground's cool, but I like the fact that he's when you think, okay, he's going to come and talk about Star Wars. Well, obviously he will at Star Wars Celebration. But at the 40th anniversary panel, I noticed him talking about George Lucas's early work, like THX 1138. And I was like, oh, I've never heard anyone speak to George Lucas about non-Star Wars things. And this panel today, he was talking about Lucas. They said, what was it like before Empire? And, I followed his career from an early age. I really enjoyed this film, blah, blah, blah. And he was delving into the American Renaissance. In the 70s, you had Lucas, Spielberg, Brian De Palma, kind of ish, Scorsese, Coppola, all these guys, they were close-knit. And he was saying, I knew of these guys, I'd heard about them, I'd really wanted to work for one. And hearing a guy say he wanted to be in Star Wars because of a director and other stuff, not because it was Star Wars, I really like that. And it's something you haven't really seen in these panels recently because so many of the time it's, I grew up with Star Wars, brilliant. It's the same thing I'd say. A lot of other guys, Star Wars was massive. I enjoyed it. But to hear him go, no, I really enjoyed that director's first film and I wanted to work with him after. It felt so fresh as a panel. Because I know that Anthony Daniels has done a panel and the issue of that is he was there last year. He hasn't done anything new over the last year to change. It's going to be the exact same, similar to the Ray Park panel. But this Billy Dee Williams, it was great. Nice and short, sweet to the point, but He had his brilliant glasses on from the other day. He looks cool as hell, and he's honestly one of the coolest guys in the galaxy.
See, when I turned it on, he was looking at like some art, and he was saying art's stressful, and I was like, yeah, art is stressful. he's such a down to earth person, and it shows that like they do actually take time to actually care about the casting, especially with the original cast. Like, I mean, this celebration we've had people come back from every era of Star Wars. So we had people from the prequels, the sequels, the original trilogy, and every single one of them cares so much about the franchise. Like, it's bigger than like the sum of its parts. Like, it is so much bigger, as said in the Last Jedi trailer, than what is set forward from us. Like, I mean, we're here discussing Star Wars now just because they put on this celebration for us, just to celebrate the idea of Star Wars, which is now over 40 years old. Like, amazing.
It's a franchise that they've all said it's going to outlive all of us. It's this entity, but
a bit like James Bond will outlive all of us.
Yeah, but this one's better. But James Bond's like British living. This is like the world domination that's going to carry on.
Yeah, it is.
But the Billy Dee Williams stuff, it was a fun panel. It's worth watching. One of the better ones of terms of the individual panelists. But then really we've had the main panel for the day now. To me,
the main panel.
Rebels should have been bigger than Battlefront, but Battlefront stole the show. Arguably up there with The Force Awakens. No, what? He's up there with The Last Jedi and the 40th anniversary panel.
There was a Force Awakens panel this year. Do tell.
Well, EA Awakens, everyone's wallet.
Yes, finally. Mind you, it's EA. You can't, even though it was a good panel.
It's Star Wars Battlefront. I grew up on the original games. The one came out 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. A lot of people don't like it. It's got its faults. I'm not hiding that at all. But going out and saying we're doing all three eras, didn't expect EA to do that. EA, the sort of company that would do 3 games, one for each era. Yeah, but they haven't
told you they're probably going to make you pay for them.
No. It'll be in the disc. Obviously, there's going to be a season pass. Oh yeah. They're not going to have to pay for it.
So what are they going to have to add for DLC? Like, obviously they're going to have the Last Jedi stuff, which they've already talked about adding in the Last Jedi stuff.
The Last Jedi stuff is because the game comes out before the film. They did this first one, the Battle of Jakku DLC. It was free to everyone. However, they didn't release it until the film came out. So the Last Jedi stuff's going to be very similar to that. I think it's really only costume designs because Rey and Kylo are still in it already.
Well, also, we have in the Last Jedi trailer, we see 2 possible battles taking place. You got the one on the desert planet, which may be Jakku. I don't think it's Jakku personally. But then you've also
named it, but I've forgotten the name for it.
You've also got the space battle at the very, very end of the trailer. So I have a feeling that they are going to be included into the game because they did kind of. They didn't want to say outright, okay, we've got Last Jedi stuff in the game. You guys going to get the Last Jedi stuff in the game. But obviously that's going to happen at some stage.
Oh, yeah. So
they've got to have something to add on.
They'll have a season pass. And what it will be, let's be honest, because they're doing 3 eras, I'm very excited. They sold it very well at the panel. Everything from the multiplayer, having ranks, upgrading your heroes, they've really put that in all 3 eras. I mean, we saw Kamino, we saw Naboo.
The ships can now be upgraded, and you have hero ships as well.
Exactly. I mean, in the Battlefront that just came out, there were only 2 hero ships, and for those haters that just sit there moaning that it's not Battlefront 2 of 10 years ago, there were no hero ships back then. There were just 5 ships. Whereas with this now, they've got so much potential. This could genuinely be one of the best games ever made to date. Obviously, there's going to be a season pass, so I'm just going to assume that there'll be, just like the first Battle 4 DLC packs, there'll probably be 1 Last Jedi one. They will do 1 for the original trilogy, and I bet they'll do 2.
Which battle do you reckon they'll do for the original trilogy?
One that hasn't been done.
What do you think they're going to include?
As far everything that's been on.
Let's quickly just go through this because I do want to speculate on this. What maps do you reckon they're going to have in this game? Because they already have the I can't remember the name of the planet, but the where the clone troopers are kept in
Kamino. Right, I'll go through. Yeah. So Naboo's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Kamino has been confirmed.
Yes.
Nothing from episode 3 has been confirmed yet. They haven't. We saw a Mos Eisley in this trailer, episode 4.
I'm trying to think of battle planets. They could just have straight up the space battle from episode 3 at the very start.
I think they're going to add Mustafar. I think that'll be built. We don't know yet. It's so early to speculate, but I've got a feeling that
battle would be just. Oh
we're going to get Mustafar.
Oh my god!
I think we'll get Geonosis because it was the start of the Clone Wars.
Okay, Scarif, definitely.
Scarif, we're definitely going to get because they've got the Battle of Scarif. Because that was in the first Battlefront as DLC, but it wasn't. It was.
Yeah, they're going to add in Scarif, obviously.
Yeah, they're going to get it properly this time, not do it off concept art.
They're also possibly going to do, I don't know, the assault on the base. You know, the base in the rocks. I've only seen Rogue One once. I'm sorry, guys, but you know,
Edu would be very cool.
Yes.
However, because I would love it. I think they will. I think they've spent 2 years making this game. The problem is, just going in the hole, when the first Battlefront came out, they had 2 years to make it. They were told by Disney you have to release it before Episode 7's come out.
Yes.
I'm not a game developer, however, I'm not dumb. It takes a long time, and they had to build an engine from scratch, which took up most of production.
Now they have the engine, they have a lot more time
to they've had 2 years to develop planets and ideas rather than develop an engine to build off. And I feel that this is honestly going to be an insane game. Yes, there will be microtransactions and stuff. Obviously, it's EA.
But games nowadays have microtransactions. Like,
exactly,
it's just a thing that you live with. Same with DLC.
If they nail this, and the campaign actually sounds awesome. The Rise of the First Order from the Imperial point of view, I'm loving that. That's going to be something interesting, and it's canon, which means that obviously we saw it in the panel. They sat down with the Lucas Story Group, said, we sat down and we did this, that, the other. But this means that Lucasfilm are taking note. Like, this is important. We're allowing you to do this, so we're actually getting accept the kind of aftermath stuff. Yeah, this is going to be cover 30 years, and I'm very excited.
Well, whether it covers 30 years or maybe covers the first 15 years for a 15-year TV show to follow up, like, you don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, Inferno Squadron looks vicious, and like when I go get this game, if fingers crossed it comes out on PC, I will enjoy playing as the baddies for once and taking the baddies side and thinking, yeah, we're the good guys. And especially from the trailer. We see the main girl, the leader of the squadron, facing off against Luke. That's where it's going to end, I think.
I hope it ends there. I don't want it to survive Luke unless he refuses to kill her. But it's really cool seeing that they're the sort of SAS of the Empire. Although they were never on Endor, they just magically are this one time. They've never been seen before, but they were magically there the whole time. I love little things like that.
Maybe it's just a kind of they were okay. So you got the forest moon of Endor. It's an entire kind of moon. Luke and the guys who are up here to start off with at the battle, or sorry, Han and Leia are up here. They're down here somewhere, just kind of patrolling the outside, going on the cleanup crew and stuff like that. And then
it was a fun panel. It was one of the stronger panels. Certainly better than the Rebels panel. I think the fans were interested. There was a lot more to say. They were clearly having fun. I mean, if they said the wrong things, this crowd would eat them apart. They got booed 2 years ago when they said there wasn't a campaign at Star Wars Celebration, and they've come here to fix it, and they have. And
they obviously took note from last year, so they have crowd engagement, and they know what the people want.
They said, we listened to the fans' feedback for the first game, and this is what we've done to change it. And obviously, E3 is in June. I'm guessing that'll be the first gameplay trailer.
Yes, that will be. But the gameplay trailers are never like the actual.
Well, not gameplay trailer, but it could be the first piece of gameplay. I think
gameplay you can actually test it out and try and stuff like that. Because the one that sticks in my mind is, I saw the gameplay trailer for BioShock Infinite, and for mind-blowing wow. And then the actual game came out, and it was completely different to the original gameplay trailer. Completely different. But yeah, Star Wars games coming up as well. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about today's kind of recap and what happened today in Orlando? Or?
For the minor things, if it's for the littler things, there's a Captain Phasma book and comic book series that's been announced. Thrawn's getting a Black Series figure. They've already announced a Black Series figure for the woman from the Battlefront 2 panel. There's so much stuff happening. It's just like a cloud of knowledge that I don't know how to dispense. But this has really been like an off the cuff. I don't know what counts as what Star Wars stuff do we talk about on a cinema savvy one, because I don't want to make someone cry by talking about Star Wars books on a film show.
Okay, long shot, because just to wrap this up, what is the name of the final Star Wars film? Good.
It's just
It's just Star Wars. It's just
That's one way of describing it.
I mean, there was a period of time before they announced it to be called The Last Jedi, where it was going to be called Fall of the Resistance, or there was a leak or something like that, or is it
last year at Star Wars Celebration, some idiot photoshopped saying it's Fall of the Resistance, and he says this is going to be announced today. And I was at that Star Wars Celebration panel, and it wasn't announced because all he did, he photoshopped an image and pressed print and made out it was a real poster because he pressed the print button. But The Last Jedi is a really cool title. I'm not going to be able to guess it. I wouldn't have guessed it.
The Last Jedi sounds like an end of the trilogy title.
But it's the middle.
I know.
But
they could have a really awkward naming session of the final film. And
they can't call it Return of the Jedi again.
No, because that would be perfect. But they can't call it that. Return of the Jedi Part 2.
We've had Revenge of the Sith. We've had Return of the Jedi first trilogy enders. So there's going to be something. Not the return of Harrison Ford. He won't be coming back. He would probably rather
something about the Force Redemption.
I don't know. We can make assumptions after December.
The Force Shank Redemption. I'm sticking with that.
It's about Luke breaking out of his little cave and island for 20 years.
Yes. And there's a poster of Leia, which he crawls through.
His sister.
Yeah, he's cool with it. But anyway, thank you ever so much, guys, for listening. Please be sure to check out more Star Wars stuff from our previous day recaps, and also go to Ones with the Force, a Star Wars podcast, because they do more Star Wars stuff than we do nowadays. Along with that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever the hell you like, because it all supports us and we love feedback. Find us on Facebook. That's probably, if you type into Facebook Cinema Savvy, we'll come up. If you go onto Twitter and type in Cinema Savvy, we will also come up. Same again with YouTube, even though you're watching it on YouTube. Type in Cinema Savvy, we'll be there. But anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the final day recap, if there is anything actually big coming out of the final day. That'll be probably George, Chris, maybe tomorrow?
I think tomorrow is going to be the more serious video. I'm sure this has been the kind of joke last minute one. Well, listen, we're just filling in the gap. I was requested.
But everything is always done better with improv, and I feel like this was a really fun one to get on with.
Exactly. Tate's home and he's talking Star Wars. What else is there?
There is nothing else that is needed. So on that note, we will see you guys next time. Laters.